Hello everyone, welcome to another one of my live videos. My name is Jackie. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, let me give you a bit of insight on what I do here on YouTube. So I work with people who've had traumatic childhoods, traumatic pasts. I help them overcome those issues, any limiting beliefs they may have from that, overcome, help recover from codependency, um, narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, by changing your beliefs, the way you look at yourself, the way you look at the world around you, and trying to gain confidence, build self esteem, and help people know their worth and value. So, if you like that type of content, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. So, in today's video, I'll be discussing boundaries, why you don't have any, how you can get some. But before I get into that, there's something I quickly want to discuss. Why is it so hard to set boundaries, right? You tell yourself, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna tell them I'm busy, I don't wanna do this. Both emotional and personal boundaries. Why is it so hard? Especially if you're someone who's pretty much has never had boundaries your whole life. Well, the answer is in the question. You don't know any other way to function. You don't know any other way to do things, right? This is how you were conditioned. This is how you were probably taught from a young age. So setting boundaries is such a foreign um, concept, and you probably have some sort of beliefs around setting boundaries, like you feel guilty, or you think you're being a bad person, or you just think it's the way it is. You're supposed to be just, you know, let people do whatever they want to and never, say no again, because that's how you were conditioned. You may not know how to separate your needs from the needs of others, or perhaps you may be codependent and get attached to your loved ones or the people around you, and so it's hard for you to have boundaries in that way. So how exactly can you tell if you don't have any boundaries? I have a few questions to ask you. See if you get majority of these correct, you might need to get some boundaries, or you might be struggling with boundaries. Or perhaps you already know that you don't have boundaries, so this will just confirm that. Okay, so you struggle telling others how you feel, right? You're there for everyone, but not for yourself, and you can't ask for help from others. You stay in neglectful relationships with partners who you give a lot and they don't give anything in return, and you stay in those relationships. And you stay trapped in sort of manipulative or sometimes abusive relationships. Um, you may be prone to oversharing. Um, you air out your laundry freely. You trust people too easily. And sometimes people walk all over you, right? They take your sort of kindness and they use that to get what they want. Um, you feel like no one listens to you, right? You try to voice your opinion and say what you think, and no one's listening. No one appreciates you. Or sometimes you may feel like you don't know who you are, or you've lost your identity, especially like in relationships. Um, you may have mood swings or feel moody at times, but don't know how to express it. um, Maybe you often feel used. Again, like people come in, they ask for favors, ask you to do this, and you do it for them, and they just really don't appreciate it, or they would never do the same for you. You may feel bad or guilty for saying no or putting yourself first. You may feel selfish for putting yourself and your needs first. Also, you may not like how people interact with you, right? Maybe they don't show you respect, or they take you for granted. These are just some signs of having no boundaries. And I've been in this position, and it sucks. You feel like you're really doing everything you can to help other people, but no one is doing the same for you. But the key is, you're not supposed to go so far for other people, right? You're supposed to go this far for yourself, but especially for people who don't appreciate it. Um, don't give your all to certain situations and certain people, especially they won't appreciate it and they're just using you. And that's one of the keys of, setting boundaries. Value yourself more than you expect other people to value you. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, find your sort of validation from within instead of waiting for other people to validate you. Because if you find it from within, you're willing to go above and beyond for yourself and set boundaries with other people. Make sure that they don't cross that. But if you're looking for validation from them, then all bets are off. There's no boundaries because they have your validation and they have your approval. So that's one thing that you might need to work on in order to get some boundaries. And I find that, as I've said in a lot of my videos, things like setting boundaries often come from your mindset or your beliefs, what you believe about yourself. Remember, your beliefs are sort of the rules from which you operate off of. Um, they're like your map to life, how you see yourself in the world, how you see other people, you see yourself with other people. So if your rules then tell you that support having lack of boundaries, you will behave that way. So if you want to set up boundaries and be able to say no with ease and put yourself first with ease, you need to look at those rules, the sort of code that's in your mind that tells you how to behave and operate. When you change that, then you operate in a way where you're able to put boundaries and say no with ease. And so if you have no boundaries, you may have limiting beliefs, or your core beliefs may be negative, right? You may believe that you're not good enough, and so you operate as such. Other people are more valuable and more important than you, so therefore they deserve more care and more respect than you do. And when someone disrespects you, you put up with it because, again, you believe you're not good enough, so you deserve that. Instead of standing up for yourself or distancing yourself from people who disrespect you, you keep going back to them. Maybe you believe you don't deserve love, so therefore you don't deserve love, you don't deserve respect, so therefore, again, you stay in situations or with people who walk all over you, and you keep doing things for them even though you know they'll never do the same for you because you believe they deserve it more than you do. But that's not true. So you need to go to that core belief and change that. You deserve respect just as much as anybody else. And if someone is not willing to give you the respect you deserve, walk away. Stop helping them. Stop giving an arm and a leg for them. Leave them be. Let them be. You may believe that you have to work to make people like you. You have to do things in order to receive love in return, which is false again. You don't have to do people favors. Those who love you will love you for who you are. Then, otherwise, if you waiting for people to love you based on the little things you do for them, that's how you draw in these sort of toxic, manipulative people. The type that want to keep you on a sort of leash, doing things for them to please them, right? You don't want that. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much more than that. You shouldn't be a sort of servant to someone else just to get your self worth in return as a paycheck. No, 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 no. You shouldn't have to do that. So when you start seeing yourself as enough, worthy, and deserving of love, you this type of thing, you won't even look at people like that. You simply walk away. They'll try to rope you into their toxic, manipulative um, relationship, like a narcissist or an emotional abuser, but you just walk away from that because you know you deserve better, right? So when you know that you're good enough and you deserve love, you deserve better, and you walk away from relationships and people who are just using you, who want you to have no boundaries so they can get what they want from you. Um, yeah, you may also think that everyone has to like you, or uh, you have to show loyalty to people by doing all of these things, uh, or show some sort of dedication. With this type of thing, you have to change your views on what loyalty and dedication are, and it shouldn't be self-sacrificing, right? You shouldn't be giving an arm and a leg. Remember, loyalty and dedication, it's a two-way street. Only give people what they give back to you. Do not go above and beyond for someone who's not willing to do the same for you. You know what I mean? So you need to look at what loyalty and dedication really is, what that looks like, and apply that and change it from how you see it. Because if you're being loyal to someone who just wants to use you and walk all over you and make you do all their work for them and make you give 100% to them, and then you get nothing in return, then that's one-sided loyalty, and you should never be in a one-sided loyalty situation. So these core beliefs, these limiting beliefs, where exactly do they come from? How are they formed? How do you get to a point where you're operating with these sort of false beliefs that you're not good enough, you don't deserve love or respect, blah blah? Where does it come from? Well, it may have been conditioned in, well, actually it is conditioned in childhood. All of our beliefs about ourselves and the world are conditioned in our childhood. For example, if you grew up in a home where I don't know, etiquette was important. You had to learn how to use your forks and knives from a young age, and you had to set up a table properly, all of that thing. When you grow up, that's going to be something that's important to you. It's going to be automatic. You won't even have to think about it. And when you meet someone who doesn't do that, it's almost going to be like a shock to you. Like, oh, I thought this is how the world operates. I thought this everyone just knew this because I knew this growing up. This was drilled into me when I was younger. So when I meet someone who doesn't really know how to do this, it's sort of strange, isn't it? Right? It's the same thing. These beliefs are created in you as a young child to a point where you kind of believe this is how the rest of the world operates. This is just what the world looks like. This is how the world is. But the thing is, if we all grew up in healthy environments with lots of love and care and healthy parents, healthy situations, this would be a positive. We would all the world would be a happy, better, a great place, a Garden of Eden. But the thing is, not everyone is blessed with that sort of childhood situation. In fact, most people aren't. And so, because you grew up in unhealthy environments, maybe there was a lot of alcoholism, emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, or just parents who weren't present, who weren't there, it sort of creates um, beliefs about yourself and how you see your world around you that may be false, that are not true. But your beliefs are just created based on the environment you live in. And so you end up feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy of love, you're not deserving of love because you never received this as a child. You may fear rejection. And so, therefore, lack of boundaries, because if I put boundaries and I say no, people will leave, they'll walk away. So I have to do things for them to love me, for them to stay. That could be. Oh, sorry, my mic switched off. I'm back now. My mic switched off. Sorry about that. Um, So, yes, I was talking about beliefs and how they're formed in childhood, and if you had a traumatic childhood or poor emotional support, maybe emotional abuse, um, parents weren't present, you didn't receive a lot of love, it creates false beliefs. You feel like you're not good enough, you're not deserving of love. And so you feel like you have to work for love and may have fear of rejection, which may lead to, having no boundaries. And so you need to work at those core beliefs. You need to go back into your childhood. Um, First of all, try to, I know it can be really painful to bring up, your traumatic childhood, but healing from it is something that will really help you in the long run. Whatever false beliefs were formed in childhood, working through all of those, changing them to healthier beliefs. Because now you're older and you're able to process what happened to you, what may have gone down as in your childhood. And so you're able to go in, change those beliefs, and tell yourself that you're worthy, you're enough. Um, Remove any sort of guilt or duty you feel you have to people. Remove people off of the pedestal, right? Because we say no when we think people are better than us, or we think we have an inferiority complex. So you're like, who am I to say no? Like, I deserve this poor treatment. They deserve better treatment than me. Remove those sorts of beliefs. Tell yourself that you're good enough. Validate yourself from within. Tell yourself you're good enough from within. You're worthy. Be your biggest supporter. This will make it easy for you to walk away from red flags, because if you tell yourself that you deserve so much more, when someone comes in and is not, willing to give you the love or respect you deserve, you can just walk away because you deserve more. You know, change all of those negative false beliefs into something positive that serves you. This will really help you build boundaries, because the foundation of how you view yourself, your self perception has changed. Therefore, doing setting boundaries and saying no, walking away from what no longer serves you, is easy, because you deserve better. So you can say no. But no, I don't want to go out tonight. I have things to do. And you do have things to do, and you can say no and not feel anything, and not feel bad about it. Yeah. You also need to know that it's okay to say no, right? No is a complete sentence. And some people will try to sort of rebel against this and try to fight you setting up boundaries, because they are the people that were benefiting the most from you not having boundaries. But at the end of the day, I found that a lot of people sort of fall in line. When you set up boundaries and you teach people how to treat you, people fall in line, because what else are they going to do? They may try to fight you, but if you stay firm with your boundaries and say, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not going there, there's nothing they can do but comply. And especially if you're not seeking validation or approval from them, that you not put them on a pedestal. You've told yourself that you are enough and you're deserving and worthy of love and respect, and to put your needs first, and you haven't put any stock in them validating you. It's easy to say no and walk away. It's really easy when you program those beliefs. When you do those two things, it's easy, because you're not looking for them to validate you, so you don't need that. And you deserve the best, so you only want to be aligned with people that give you the best. So, um, you, boundaries are like, you can say no, like, no thanks, and walk away and be okay. you know? You, really, once you change these beliefs, you find that it's easy to say no. It's easy to put yourself and your needs first. It's easy to walk away from what no longer serves you, and you will not tolerate people walking all over you. You will not go above and beyond doing things for people who would never do the same for you. So yes, go into your core beliefs, whatever beliefs you may have about what you think you deserve. Remove those. Change them to something positive that tells you that you are enough and you deserve nothing but the best, because you do. So yeah, you are special, you are wonderful, and the world needs to see that, but you need to see it first before you show it to the world. So therefore, just go into the look into this. It's really life changing, because it will affect so many more. Just changing a few limiting beliefs to something positive, it won't just change boundaries, it will change everything in your life. You will feel so much better about yourself. You just wake up feeling happy, in a good mood, knowing that I've got it. Whatever the world throws at me today, I can take it, I will tackle it, and I will come out victorious. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I've done that the same for myself. I went in and I changed a lot of my beliefs that I had about myself. And, you know, it's funny. I was just going in to change just a few beliefs, telling myself I'm worthy, I am enough, all of that. And people will be like, oh, you're so confident, you're more confident. My goal wasn't even to be more confident. My goal was to not feel miserable about myself. It was to feel good about myself and love myself and be happy with who I am. And the result on the outside world was, you look more confident, you look more sure of yourself, you know, you look more put together, you look like you know what you're doing, like you know what's going on. And so this really does, your beliefs are essentially how you operate with everything in life. So when you change them to something that positive, that tells you that, you know, you're the man, you've got this, you can do it, it changes everything, completely changes everything. So I really, really highly suggest, especially if you struggle with like codependency, low self-esteem, low confidence, things like that, I highly suggest you look into what your core beliefs might be and reprogramming them. And it really is, in your childhood will let you know what your core beliefs are, right? So if you were abandoned as a child, you might have fear of abandonment. You might think that people will leave you. And so going into those abandonment issues and changing those fears into something positive, that will work for you. And you have to find the specific core beliefs that were implanted in you as a child, because those are the ones you need to switch around and change. And it really is life changing. So that I could go on forever about this topic, but I'm going to go live again on Friday. I forgot what I'm discussing, but what am I talking about on Friday? Let me check. Um, it's codependency. So on Friday, I'm talking about codependency, which also ties into boundaries. So if you like this video, um, you're probably gonna catch it after I've streamed this. So the codependency video will probably be out as well. So just look for that. They go hand in hand. And yeah, it should really help you. I would also like to do one on how to discover your limiting beliefs and what core beliefs you have, and also how to specifically go in and change those beliefs. But this is such an important topic, and I feel like a lot of people need to talk about this because this is life changing. You know, it can cure you of so many things that you believe you have, like anxiety, depression. It really can go in and just cure that for you if you change your beliefs. So, and I've discussed a lot of this in my other videos, and I will continue to do that. So if you like that type of content, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're updated when you're notified when I go live. And yeah, if you really want to go in and, you know, change your core beliefs, please subscribe, because this is what I predominantly do here. Help you discover what your core beliefs are, heal from like trauma, anything in your childhood that may affect how you operate today, and just be your best self. Be happy and confident in yourself as you are. So if you want to see that type of content, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next live. Bye.